Good afternoon, y'all. This is Andrew Bateman with 2A Moments, and I've got some restoration projects on some Civil War era pieces that I'm going to be going through, and I just wanted to introduce you to these and bring you along for the progress. So first and foremost, one I'm really excited about is this pattern 1816 musket. Of course, these were federal contract, but at the onset of hostilities in the Civil War, these were in northern and southern arsenals alike, and at battles like Bull Run and Shiloh and things of that nature, you would have seen some of these in flintlock configuration and percussion conversion across the line, shooting back and forth at each other. One interesting thing about this gun, though, it's in real rough shape. I got it in pieces and worked it back together, but it's got a different bolster and a different hammer, and the lock work is just done differently than I've seen on any of the main federal contract guns, which leads me to think that there's a good chance that this was a Confederate conversion that may have just been done when it was needed. I really don't know, and if anybody knows anything about this, as I show some of the close-ups, I'd love to know more about it. But this is a Springfield 1838 production of a model 1816, which doesn't mean that it was a federal gun. It was in the southern arsenals. So again, these were on both sides at the onset of hostilities, and a lot of them were refinished. Some of them were fitted with sights, but most of them were just, again, smooth bore. The only difference, the only change was the percussion ignition system. So the finish on this, I believe to be original on the stock. It's been a little abused, some inscribing, and it looks like someone put some shoe oil or maybe some old varnish or something on it. I'm going to see how far I can go without damaging the actual finish. We may just have to settle for some there, but likewise, I'm going to clean the barrel. I thought this was actually brown when I first got it, but when you took it apart, you could tell it was armory bright underneath, finished in the white. So I'm just going to clean this up. I'm not going to repolish it or anything like that. I don't want it to lose any of that patina, but there is, of course, some rust and some film, and you can see right there the difference under that band. So looking forward to doing that. Model 1816, produced in 1838 at Springfield, probably in southern arsenals at the onset. Next, I have a piece I really don't know a lot about. There's elements of a lot of different guns on this that I am aware of in the Civil War. If we look at the lock, we see an Austrian style hammer, like you'd see on the Dresden rifle, I believe it was. You have some Belgium and French accents, like the ribs underneath the trigger guard, and you've got a rear sight. This is rifled, 69 caliber, and it's got French looking nose cap on it. Now this is actually an original Infield bayonet. It's just something, or excuse me, Infield ramrod. It's just something that I put in there because this didn't have a ramrod when I found it. This is a really intriguing piece to me, and again, it's just going to be one that I clean up. I know the finish on this is real, and so this one's going to be just a minor cleanup, but it's still an interesting piece, and I would love information if any of y'all have any. And last, the most substantial project I have right now is this 1853 Infield. This is actually from a reproduction that I've had for many, many years, and had some issues with the barrel. The lock and everything else is out. I actually sanded down the stock. Now this barrel that I have now, I'm 99% sure this is an original barrel, but I believe it's from an Indian contract musket from when the British were colonizing India. So no big deal, same deal. But it doesn't quite fit in the repro stock. So I've done some fitting already. I've got some more to do because it's not going to quite fit in there. I have to make sure that bolster and all that lines up, and that I can get that screw to go through into the trigger guard and the trigger plate. So it's going to take a little bit of work. Some of the things I've already done. When you get these from the factory, there's reproductions. They have, I don't even know what you call these, but they have the rounded brass pieces here, and you probably can't see this real well. But the Confederate guns on the 53 Infield were generally squared off rather than rounded, so I actually filed these down. Now there's some gaps in the wood that I'm going to have to take care of, which won't be a problem. And I'm just going to be trying to restore it. It'll have an original barrel, original ramrod, everything else will be reproduction. But as you can see, I've even shaped around this. I've got a lot more sanding and filing to do, but I've shaped around that. I'm going to be doing a refinish period style. So this is what I've got going on, and I'm looking forward to sharing this with you guys as things progress. Take care.